This is looting. Okay, today I'm going to be looking at rush routes on Grand Bazaar. Now, the reason I wanted to look at this map is because it's one of the biggest, choke point maps. It's also one of the maps that tends to get frequently spawn camped. So I wanted to have a little look at, generally how me and my guys will play this one and how it is good to play for you. So, attacking, basically. Defense is easy on this one. It's all about just managing your targets. So I'm going to look at attacking. You start off at the bottom of this road, and it's not too far to the target. You both have kind of equidistance in terms of defense and attack to get up to the targets, so you have about the same time, so speed at the start of the round is really important. Just pick up your kit and go. You should hopefully have what you want ready, okay? The route that I normally take, let's just have a look over here, okay? You've got 3 routes to get to the targets. Up this horrible corridor. Now again, this is super dangerous because you'll get support and snipers down there. And then to B, we have this route over here. And this route to B, we'll go up here just quickly and we'll look at why this is not so good. Okay, coming to B, the reason this can be a little bit dangerous is because they can get you from 2 ways. They can come up through here, okay, which means they can put fire and grenades up onto you. Grenades are easy to land because they'll just bounce up on this wall here. And also they can come down the road and in here. This room is horrible for defenders because they can get all up in here. As everybody knows, you can go prone, you can sit in these corners, okay. But it's actually not that bad because once you get up to here, if they've allowed you to get up to this point, you can just bounce grenades in off these walls, which will land right in here, clear them out. Also, if you just drop a smoke grenade in there, okay, you'll be able to just run in, do a clean sweep on the wall, spray, etc., take them out. Make sure that you, as you come up to here, you're ready for them, so you kind of come up, take your targets up on the corners and so on and so on. Let's just quickly look back down at the road now. So we've looked really at those 2 points, okay? Those are the ones that people often will take, okay? They'll come up either of those corridors. It's not a good thing to do because often those will be the most severely camped positions. What I will normally do is when we start the round, okay, I'll throw a smoke out. Then put a smoke right up the road. That'll cover you up again. You can drop another one. So usually at this first point I'm trying to drop as much smoke as possible. And then I may even put like a 3rd one down here, just to continue to keep that suppression up. Then with a team of like 5 to 6 guys, we'll come up to this point and split. So I have like 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Okay, and you can often we'll have one guy maybe go forward up to this point here, and what he's going to be doing is trying to stop them moving up this road, okay? You're trying to choke anyone that's already got killed because they'll be coming back in. The other guys will come in and hopefully be teaming up with other people, move into here. And then the other guys go onto this one. Now, the key really there is it's all about just moving up this road fast and dropping smoke, okay? Nothing too complicated about these 2 bases. It literally is just a case of speed. So I'll just get these targets armed. And back over here. Whilst those are blowing up, we'll just have a little look back out here. Places to be careful of and things to watch for. Okay. When you come up this road, the bus can be a good piece of cover, okay? You can get in here, you can crouch down here, you can cover, you can go prone here, you see? And this can be a really good way of covering people, is going prone here and just covering up this road. I often go to that position. Things to be careful of. If you come up here on the right-hand side, that block there, and also this roof here, you'll get snipers on that roof, and they will often take you out. Let's just go down onto the next one now. Again, nothing too complicated about that first base, okay? The next base is a little bit more interesting. As you come down the road here, you need to be careful of people camping out in this building here, and also this kind of general area. They'll be putting fire across onto you. You want to watch out for any snipers and people like that who haven't been cleared out from this building right here. And this whole area can be very, very dangerous. However, most enemy you'll find will be concentrated near to B. That's pretty much where they spawn, that's generally where they'll come. So they'll be around that kind of central Grand Bazaar building. We just call it the central building really, this one here. And again, this corridor here, you've got to be careful of that. Now, what we're actually talking about is rush routes. What you want to do is get to A ASAP, okay? And usually what I do is, again, as we move from back here, I'll put some smoke across here. And that's to kind of cover you whilst you're moving in this open ground, because you don't really want to run across open ground if you can help it. Once you've got to about the end of the road here, it's only that first bit that's a problem, because often, like I say, they're camped all across the market here. Once you've actually got past that point, it's not too much of a problem. And you can either run straight in there, or you can come in the door through there. Let's just go straight down here. Now you want to get A first. The reason you want to get A first is that it's often slightly more of an exposed position, and it can be more difficult for you to get to afterwards. Now I know that people might disagree with that, because some people may say that, okay, B is nearer to their spawn and it's thing. The reason B can be a bit easier to get is there's a lot more places for you to hide and, you know, cover and drop smoke and throw grenades, and you can suppress them better because they're in a more kind of concentrated choke point position. They'll be coming through this door here mainly, so long as you keep that door secure, you're pretty much okay. Whereas opposed to A, okay, they can not only come through that door and come into the market, they can also cross this road and get into here and the back. They can move up here, they can cover you. There's a lot of open ground that you've got to cover to get to A, and it's much further for you to get to. It's a really run way to run, because you have to run right back from the original spawn. So A, it's not so much that A is more difficult to take, or that B, you know, it's not really about the base difficulty, it's just purely a distance thing. A is so far to get to that, you know, if you take B first and all they have to do is focus on A, every time they kill you, you're going to have a ridiculously long way to run, and it's just, it is more difficult. In my experience, A is the better one to go for, okay? So let's just arm that up. Now, as you get to A, okay, you have to be careful. Again, there's lots of little hidden cubby holes and things like that. What you want to do is, when you get to this point, okay, you then want to split your team if possible. So you want to have like a couple of guys coming over here, maybe, here and around here, covering from people coming in the market area. You also want to send someone forward up to this point and cover the corridor. And again, you know, you could do as much as literally just staying back here. You could have someone go prone like this and cover, or you could send them right up and cover these kind of areas here, stop people. I often will go kind of here because they won't spot you as they come around, and it does mean that you can mark targets in the market at the same time. And if you hear a guy coming from the left, you can just duck in, and then as he comes past, you can just take him down. Okay, so you can think about that one. Then once you've actually got to this point, again, you can stop people flanking around to B, which means that you only have 1 point for them to focus on. Because once you've got A, it means that you can focus on this. For example, you know, this is kind of exposed if they're still in control of this area, but if they're not, you can stop people coming up here flanking around whilst the rest of your team put a lot of pressure onto B. And there's so many positions that you can get onto B. The reason why I say B is because I feel like you've got a lot more cover, you can take it more easily. You know, you've got this whole market to move through, and again, dropping smoke, which I've run out of now, dropping smoke will actually allow you to kind of move very easily through this area, and then it should literally just be a case of throwing some grenades forward, putting a lot of suppressive fire into that doorway there, and once you've controlled that doorway, you control the game, you can just get that target armed. But clearing this area and controlling that doorway is often really the key. And this building here can be a really important part of that. Getting onto this roof here, it means that you can cover a lot of different areas. You can cover here, you can make sure that this tower area is clear. And mainly, yeah, you can put suppressive fire into here, especially if you've got a good LMG person. They can just keep putting suppressive fire into there. Anyone with M320s, rockets, etc, etc, etc. So A, and then to B. You also have the tank now, so don't forget to use that. And the tank obviously can be really powerful, but you know, again, coming down this road, you're very limited in terms of cover and movement for the tank. You're very exposed, so having a good engineer team can be a really big help. If you were to park the tank on that road, again, they can put shells into where the enemy are coming from towards B, or you could just drive them up here, have your machine gunner cover the end of the road here and put shells into that base from there. So you've got like 2-point attack from the tank. You can put shells there, and you can put LMG fire there, and in the meantime have a repair engineer behind arming here so that they can, you know, stop that being taken out. Okay, on we go to the next base. Again, I often find this one is a good kind of sweep and clear. Now, I often see in many games, let's look at the route to B. Or A, sorry, look to route to A. Now as we come through here, you'll see already we're in a choke point. Very narrow corridor, no real cover. Okay, and again coming up to here, another corridor. This is a horrible position to be in right here, because you know you're literally just stuck in a you know, a bottleneck choke point. And you can see these guys got these horrible concrete blocks here. You know, they can just literally sit back like this and, you know, fire down through If you've got an LMG with a bipod on there, that's going to be horrific. So again, really, really nasty. I never ever go down this route. It's just instant death. So let's run back and go where we actually usually go. So what I'll do is we often come around the other side. Again, same as the last base, push right through to the furthest base and then come back, sweep back on them. Now you can come down this road again, dropping smoke, or you can run down this corridor here and flank right around. This one's kind of good because you actually can move very, very far around. Coming up to this point, and I did have some footage recently of this point, you get guys camped out over here, so be careful of that. People on the gantry, be careful of that. And anyone over here, you want to have a very, very quick look, just scan it, check it's clear, and then move forward. Moving from cover to cover, checking it's clear. Moving forward again, you often get people camped here and behind all of this kind of scenery stuff. So clear, moving forward again, checking under the bridges for anyone hiding. Remember to take your time, because you've spent so much time moving over here already. You don't want to get just instantly killed. And you know, at the start of a round, okay, you always have like a lot of tickets as well, so therefore it gives you a good kind of buffer to take your time, because getting here safely and getting it planted is, you know, an important thing. So usually this is kind of poorly defended, but watch out for C4, because often people put C4 so they can go focus on other things. So again, just put a grenade in onto this target and that will take care of that. On this target. So once we've got to this position, okay, now the reason this is good is because often you'll have teammates who are trying to push through here. So what that is that's a good distraction, yeah, because, and now this is targeted, okay, that means that they're in a, you know, they're in confusion because they've got people putting pressure on them at A, but they also have got B armed, so it's going to be a bit of a conundrum for them to figure out where to go. And the reason they get a lot of pressure on A is because our spawn is fairly close, which means that people just keep coming through that horrible choke point again and again and again. So they will be distracted between those two positions. Do they run to B, which is kind of difficult for them to get to, because in terms of terrain, you see the road here doesn't necessarily lend itself to very easily getting over to B, which is why B is often kind of left exposed, because people run up here desperate to get the easy kills, which we all know people love to do. They'll come over here as well. They'll focus generally in most games all around this area here, and they'll leave B really exposed. So the best maneuver you can do is a good flank. You come all the way around here, arm the target. As soon as that target is armed, you might leave 1 or 2 people here. You could possibly just have someone like that covering this area, and then everybody else comes over here. You can run across the gantry or you can go below, okay, but maybe do both, because it's a good thing to have kind of split level, because then again they don't know which target to aim on. You then want to put a lot of pressure on this whole area here, grenades, smoke, rockets, everything you can, just throw it at this kind of embankment, because that's usually where people are camped. And then once you've cleared this area out, not forgetting of course to check sort of around here, and you'll see there's another one of these little shops. People love to camp in these things. Clear this area out and then go for the target. Meanwhile, you should have maybe 1 or 2 guys kind of here or on the ground here, just keeping the pressure on this place, stopping them coming over it. And then you can just go in for the arm. Now the next base is a very interesting one, because people again often don't regularly do what will happen is most of the time people come to this road or the road here, okay, and then what they will do, I think I'm going to get out of bounds, but what they do is they come up here. We'll have to wait for this to go down, and what they do is they push through the market here, they're heading for B, or they push along the road here and the corridor heading for A. What I do is do neither of those things, and it astonishes me how few people know this. What I will do is backtrack back to here, and then you use this corridor to go all the way around the back, again flanking all the way around. The reason this is good to do is because the enemy will always focus on that main road. They'll always focus on where people are going on that main road and the corridor towards A. I am yet ever to come into a round where people have this section covered. And we knock that down. Okay, now we are fully behind the enemy, and there's nothing that they will be expecting from this position. Often what I will do is sit here, wait for my full squad to spawn, so you have 4 guys, and then you can split into 2 teams of 2. The first team will move here to B, and what they're going to do is, again, you'll often have people kind of camping here, on the gantry here, and kind of all around B. But often they're not very well exposed or covered, because all they're doing is sort of firing at long-range targets, and you know, they can often be sitting like here, and what they're doing is covering people coming through this market here. Okay. The second team are going to literally just come directly across here, being careful of anyone moving up here, but also being very, very careful of this building here, because that is another sniper point. You'll have, you can see, look, you can get right up in here, okay, and you can't really see the main road. I'm just very quickly going to run up here. Okay, so you can see, look, you can't really see B. This is not really a great position for defense. It might appear to. You can kind of, hang on a sec. You can kind of see the main road here. I wonder if you can actually get over here. No. Okay, you probably can, but you see, you can kind of go prone and cover that entry point into B there, but you'd have to be a pretty good sniper really to sort of pick people off there. But it's just one to be aware of as you're moving to the area, okay? So anyway, the second team, what they're doing is they will move across here directly very, very quickly. Again, maybe just double check no one can get behind them, and then when you get to this point, what you're going to do, you can see this horribly, horribly cramped situation, okay? And again, you'll get people doing this, sort of going prone in the corners. You can see you can move right in here, so it's very, very, very tight. A good one to do: run straight past, flip back, grenade in straight off that wall, or come up to this point, bounce a grenade like up there, so it bounces down and lands in this corner here. And then that way you can hopefully clear out all those camped in people. The rest of your team, you see you've got 3-4 positions to kind of clear through here. It's horrible, horrible. You know, you've got so many little camping. You see you can have people right here with shotguns covering the doors. It's a nasty, nasty one to get into this. And a lot of people will come down this corridor, which is not so easy, because you can kind of move forward, but shooting through these gates, it kind of deflects the rounds sometimes. It's not that great. And again, see, you don't really have any amazing cover as you come around this corner here. So again, that can be really dangerous. These things, again, just blow you apart. So that's no good. That's no cover at all. You have to just kind of be quick on the trigger and good with the accuracy if you want to get through this point. Lots of smoke, lots of grenades, lots of rockets, as much as you can possibly throw. If you can get to this point, now this is a good place because you can shoot through here, which will make it very, if you move gently just from side to side, you can cover very, very nicely through there. They'll have a hard time taking you out. Okay, and again, if you can get 1 or 2 people, and we've got this position here as well, okay, if you can just get 2 guys on there, and then everybody else can focus on clearing this room. And again, hopefully, if you've got anyone with any sense, my team would have moved across and got the plant. So that is my first little rush assessment. I haven't scripted this, it's literally just been off the cuff, and I know that every round you play is going to be different. There's going to be some teams which are heavily camped, some teams which are using all sorts of different weapons, different tactics. This has just been my kind of basic overview of how generally I find the rounds to go. I'm also sorry as well if there's been any kind of difference sounding my voice in terms of volume. It's just because I'm trying to record using my snowball, but it's kind of difficult when you're doing it live like on a round like this, so I'm turning my head a little bit. But yeah, this has just been my first little experiment. I'm going to post it on my channel. I hope you guys like it. If you've got any comments, feedback, anything you think I could do a little bit better, whether you prefer to hear a kind of scripted one than not, and just literally have gameplay rather than me literally doing like a live one like this, that would be fine. So yeah, just let me know if you think this has been decent, you want to see some more. Is it too long? Would you like a shorter one? That might be difficult for me to do, but let me know. And I hope this has been a good watch, guys. Thanks for watching.